I wanted to talk this morning about spiritual friends, and just a little background. This is a subject that I really feel is really an important one because, as I thought about my own path over the years, I mean, it's really tough to do this practice alone, and all the folks in my life that supported me, encouraged me, mentored me, walked it with me, whatever. And so it's really critical to our progress. And you know, all these studies are coming out telling us something we already knew, which is how important friendship is, how important connection is to our happiness, to our well-being, even to our longevity. And you probably figured out from just all the things I talk about with regard to friendship and connection and community that I think this is really pretty important. Life is hard enough, and it's certainly more difficult if we try to navigate it alone. I mean, I just don't think it's easy, even with spiritual friends, but it's much harder without. And it probably won't surprise you that this is something 2,600 years ago that the Buddha talked about, put a lot of emphasis on. There's the wonderful sutta where he's talking to Ananda, who is his sort of his right-hand person, his aide, and his cousin. And Ananda says, he says to the Buddha, our friends, our spiritual friends, good for progress on the path. Ananda wondered if it's half the spiritual path, and the Buddha says, no, Ananda. He says, having good friends isn't half of the holy life. Having good friends is the whole of the holy life. And that just says something about the importance even then that the Buddha placed upon spiritual friends. And someone said to me recently, a good friend said to me recently, that they just don't have a lot of patience for interacting with folks that aren't sort of working a path, that it sort of puts us in a different place. It puts us in a different place in terms of our priorities and the kind of folks we want to relate to. And I think that's true. I mean, I find myself really drawn to people that are walking this path as well, and looking at themselves and looking at how to be in the world. And we're experiencing a loneliness epidemic. Everything we read about it, and social media has made it worse, and the pandemic made it worse. It's really been tough. So to be able to practice with friends, and that's what we do here at Serenity, is really a special joy. I mean, I think certainly for me, as we ripen, as we age, the importance of this is, the twists and turns of life, just having other people along to share it with, to encourage and to encourage us is so important. And it just makes it makes this whole journey smoother and more, gives us more options, gives us more insight, gives us more spaciousness. It's friendships do many things, but they ripen and deepen our capacity for compassion. They meet our needs for a social connection. They offer support when we're struggling. Emerson called friendship the masterpiece of nature. The masterpiece of nature. I love that quote. And really, they are our best hope in troubled times when we're struggling. And that's the beauty of community. It's the beauty of Sangha, is that it offers us this support system. Real friendship is a profound thing. It's a spiritual thing, and on this path, on this Buddhist path, it really does occur in terms of community, and the Buddha emphasized that in his own Sangha. Life in Sangha is predicated on shared teaching, on a dedicated meditation practice, and really a shared commitment to going beyond self-interest and personal need. It helps us lessen the importance of ego, as we get out of ourselves and think about community. It's both about personal connection and helping one another grow along the path. In the suttas, spiritual friends are referred to as kalimitas, spiritual friends. And a lot of times there'll be smaller groups, which are called KM or Kalimita groups, to further deepen connection and friendship. And the teacher's role here is really to try to model spiritual friendship, not to put oneself above or on a pedestal, but really be part of a community and bring whatever wisdom and perspective I can bring for me to learn, and we learn from each other's wisdom and perspective, and really become fellow travelers on this path. So I love this idea of spiritual friends. I love community, as you know. I love Sangha, as you know. I think it's incredibly important. And I think that the fact that folks keep coming back to Serenity says that you agree with that. So let me stop there, and let's talk about spiritual friends. Who has some thoughts about it?
Jeff, I think you, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Linda, and then Tim.
Okay, everything you said is just, you said it all. So it's like, what else is there to say? You spoke for me. However, I was just going to mention this. One time, where was it, maybe twice, I don't know, in the past couple of years since we've been doing this, my computer wouldn't let me in. I don't know what was going on. And I was in panic. I mean, I really depend on this group. And, so yeah, I just want to echo the importance that personally in my life, it takes me out of myself, and I feel connected and love, and the words of wisdom here. I've got so many notes I've written down on things people have said through the months. It's been fabulous. So thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. Tim?
Good morning. I just wanted to echo the same things you did, Jeff, that they are spiritual friends are a different category for me. They're not social friends. They're not, the friends that I run across in business or anything. They're actually people on the path. And that when I'm with them, it's very supportive of whatever my efforts are. And I know that. So I'm looking on the screen at all these people. So you are my spiritual friends. And